Hello everybody, we are here with the adorable Miss Molly. So what I want to work on and show everybody in this video, Molly has one of her biggest issues where they wanted to send for training was because of her teething, play biting, using her mouth too much just in general. So we are outside, we just started doing some work. So what I wanted to show is how I work through. So right there, she's already trying to eat my sweatshirt, all of this good stuff. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you guys exactly how I go about it. So, perfect. She starts nibbling on my fingers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my thumb. This works well for, I'm going to show you two different corrections that you could do. Okay, so let me get her up off her back because that's going to be too much. Okay? Okay, so, here you go, girl. Right, try and get her a little riled up so that she actually bites. I don't want to correct for no reason. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. Yeah, she's a good girl. Yes. Of course, you're not going to bite now because we've already done. Okay, there we go. So one little bite. Okay, so if she gets too much, people are always like, I can't hold on to it, right? Go like that and push down on her tongue. Just enough that she does that, okay? We just want a little, ooh, so she kind of gets the point. Ideally, we don't want her on her off. We're also going to use off. You can also go like this, where you curl under and you kind of pinch her teeth with your pointer and your thumb. Now, it's meant to be a quick correction, okay? It's not supposed to be this long, drawn out, like, right? It's just meant to be, no, that's not okay. And then we go right back to playing, right? So once you start seeing her lick instead of using teeth, that's her understanding that the reason she got a correction was because I used my teeth. And now she's saying, let me try my tongue. Off, right? So just that. So clearly she didn't even care. She went right back to it. We're also going off. We're also going to change what we're doing. So a lot of times people get really stuck in like fixing their dog right in this same position. Stand up, make yourself, Molly, off. Okay, so since she's not letting go, good girl. So now I need to change her thought process right now. I have to make sure that I give her something else to think about, right? All she's concerned on is chewing the leash right now, which is a correction that we're going to. Off. Good girl. Leave it. Right, so going in front of her head like this, these are all reasons that dogs are going to go after their leash. It is a temptation when it's flying in front of their face. They think it's a toy. Like we use rope toys with them and we play with those. So then they start chewing on this other thing that's dangling in front of their eyes. And they're like, why am I getting in trouble for eating this rope thing but not that rope thing? So key right there. Okay, so if you saw, I accidentally dropped my handle. Off. Molly, come. Yes. Sit. Good. Come. Yes. Good girl. Heel. Okay, so she was all thinking about the leash right there. And instead of just me correcting her, saying, no, this is what I don't want you to do, show her what you do want her to do instead. Give her a positive thing to give her brain something to think about, which was I told her to come. I asked her to sit. We started walking a little bit, and now she wasn't as tempted by the leash. As soon as I just stopped walking right there, and the leash dangled in front of her, I don't know if you noticed it or not, but she sniffed the leash, and she consciously made a decision to go do something else instead of eating the leash. Now, I can prove my point right now just by going like this, and putting she's got a rock, so she doesn't care. Off. So same with rocks. I'm going to do the same thing, because I don't want her to get into the habit of thinking it's okay to eat rocks. Off. So I'm just pinching her mouth. Trying to find the rock. Good. Okay, so I got the rock out. Okay, so I'm going to prove my point real quick with the leash, though. See, as soon as I put it in front of her face, she goes right back to wanting to eat it. So instead, I'm going to change her thought process. I pet her. Now she's thinking about me, right? And I'm going to reposition my leash properly so that it's not as much of a temptation. Where Molly, who's a pretty girl, right? So I gave her something to think about just right then, instead of when I was kind of like magic, where you look at something else so you don't see what's really going on. So I gathered up the leash in my hand, and now I'm going to keep it. Okay, so there's two things you need to know. Come on, Molly. Good girl. We want to... Oh, she's got another rock. Yeah, she's big on rocks. So off. Good girl. Leave it. Leave it. Good. Leave it. So right now, if people are, she's crazy, we don't know what to do with her. Got to give her something mental to do. If your puppy is bored, you have to show them what's something they can do. And working on her basic obedience is key. So it's early in the morning. We've already had breakfast. We've gone out to potty. We haven't even done playtime with the other dogs yet. So she's all wound up, right? So right there, she jumped up and tried to bite my pants. So we're doing pressure and release. I stopped moving. I applied steady tension, very light tension. Her butt hits, tension releases. So what we're doing with this is teaching her, calm down. You've calmed down. I'm also trying to make sure that I'm not putting temptation in front of her by dangling that leash in her face. Okay. And then I release her with an okay. So this is what we're working on this morning is pressure and release. And she's so smart. Okay, so instead of saying the word SIT, because we are not working on a sit stay right now, we are working on calm down. I'm going to say, she's going to do it. Okay, so instead of saying SIT, I'm going to add a little bit of spatial pressure. I'm going to say, Molly, Molly. Get her attention. Good. If you get her attention, then she'll start to realize, oh, pressure's on. She wasn't even thinking about this tiny little force of tension because she was thinking about something else. Once you get her attention on you, they're going to feel that tension. Adding more pressure never helps anything. All you're really going to do is teach your dog that when you feel this amount of tension is when I want you to calm down. If you just follow through and get your dog to focus, that pinky's worth of pressure, this is all you need. Right? And then I'm going to use a little spatial pressure to get her attention. Off. So I'm not going to let her win that battle. Off. Now that's also going to happen if you have off. So she got up from her sit and started biting the leash. Off. I'm not getting myself worked up. Off. Molly. I need to show her, if I want her to be calm, how is me getting worked up and yelling at her going to help anything, right? So instead, we're going to just follow through with getting her attention. Molly. Okay, so she's a baby. So, no. Okay, that's also going to happen when you're applying that too much tension. And if she backs up and throws her head around, it's a good indicator that there's too much force. I'd also like to move it up. Notice it's kind of low down on her neck. We want it high up behind her ears so that it's framing her skull, not just on her trachea. That's not where we're trying to apply tension. We're trying to apply it to the pressure points in her skull. So choking her with the slip lead doesn't help, but still, off. So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do the same correction for this, off. Okay, so it's nothing major. See, she's not hurt. It's a puppy being a puppy. They make noises. Don't be afraid, like, oh God, I hurt her. Well, she's hurting you. So you have off. And you're also going to teach her that it's okay to bite the leash. And I promise you that's such an annoying habit when you have an when you have an older dog. So we have to show her now while she's learning what a leash is, what's appropriate for the leash as well. She's not allowed to bite it and jump at it and all of that good stuff. She has to learn that this is our communication tool. It's not a toy. Okay, but if she learns it now, she's going to be great when she's an adult. Molly. Sit. So the only reason I said sit is because she's a puppy. This is only our second or third lesson maybe with this. Good girl. Okay, so that's really all I want to show her. Okay. I'm trying to make it real easy. Okay. Now, this is a good one. I said okay and she didn't get up. If I were to move forward and go like this, what am I going to do? I'm going to pull the leash in front of her face again, right? So instead of doing that, you have to make these conscious decisions, especially when you're training your dog. Don't put her in the line of temptation and then get mad at her when she, gives into temptation. So make it easier for her by not throwing that in her face and kind of learning, right? Leash work just for you is just as important. You don't have to go to immediately taking her for a walk and going around the block. That's not, nobody says this is what you need to do. What you need to do is learn how to work with her as a team so that you guys can grow together And she'll just grow up knowing, like, this is what you've always asked of her. This is what you've always followed through with. And she'll be consistent. If you're consistent, she'll be consistent. Come on, baby.